Now let's just set the client quickly. I mean, create a class by name client, new Kotlin file class, and let's give it name as client object client private variable retrofit that client. If retrofit is null, we can say retrofit equals to retrofit dot builder dot base url dot add convert factory to json convert factory dot create, and then dot build, return the retrofit. Now let me tell you one more thing is basically whenever the user send a message from the message chat activity, so we will send some information related to the notification, and also we will add the token inside the database. So for that what we will be doing is basically we have not done that part yet, and if you remember I already told you that we will implement the push notification here, so where I always also add a comment basically. Hopefully you remember that when we say send message to user, here it is. So basically we have not done that part yet. We will do that obviously very soon. So for now, I mean now we are going to do is basically create a data class for it, and we have to set the getter and setter for that, and an empty constructor and a secondary constructor for all those childs, or you can say values that we will be using. I mean all these childs host all those values, or you can say child, which we will be using for our data, for the notification data, just like we create model classes for our chat list user, etc. We will do the same for our notification data. So inside the notifications, let's create a class by the name Kotlin file class, and let's give it name as data, and then in here, now I will suggest to please use the same variable name here, because we will use the data for the notification with the same child name. For the user we will use user variable, I mean username, I mean this specific spelling I will use. Okay, so do not use different name, I mean otherwise you will get confused. So the second one is basically icon, private or icon, and let's initialize 0. Then we have the body. Now hopefully now you understand that is when we were creating the Oreo notification and the simple notification in our Firebase messaging service, here in my Firebase messaging, then we were using these body, icon, and all these stuffs for the notification, and we were displaying the notification there. Basically we were setting the, you can say, the notification whole pop-up. So anyway, let's just complete this quickly. You will understand it now easily when we will implement this step by step. So title, and the last one is sent it. Then we have an empty constructor, then a constructor with parameters, generate, select all, get user string, return user, and then set user which is of string type, obviously this dot user equals to user. And let me tell you one more thing. The body will basically, the notification body, in the body of the notification, we will basically display the text message. That is, let's say, hello, how are you? The title will contain the username. That is, let's say, John. John sent a message to Muhammad Ali. So Muhammad Ali will receive a notification. The title of that notification will be John, and the body will be hello, how are you? And obviously the icon of the default icon of the app, which is already, I mean, whatever the icon you have set for your application. And the user and sender, these are basically the IDs which you will be using, I mean, for the identification of the sender receiver. You will understand it when we will implement it on our message chat activity, when we will store all these data, so you will understand it more easily then. Hopefully you have get some knowledge now about this. So anyways, let's just copy paste it for the remaining four variables. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have icon. So for the icon we can say get icon and set icon, and it is of type int, and make sure to return the icon, this dot icon, and icon is of type int. And then the next one we have is basically body, so we can say get body, set body. After this we have title, so we can say get title, set title, return title, this dot title equals to title. By the way, we have set get title, set title, and make sure to change the variable name. Most of the time I forgot to change title, body, can, okay, the last one is this one, so it is get did set sent it. Make sure to do the changes here also. So yeah, that's it. Let me just confirm it one more time quickly. Yeah, and for the sender, let's create a class here, new Kotlin file class, and let's give it name as sender. And you have to pass the, I mean, it will receive two things. One is the data, which will be of type data, and the second thing it's need is variable 2, which will be of type string, that is to which user. So yeah, that's it, sender. And then we have the my response class, so new Kotlin file class, and let's give it name as my response, my response. Variable success equals to 0. And now finally let's just come here to the message chat activity, and here inside this function, which is send message to user, Here when we add this comment, implement the push notification using FCM. After this we can add a value event listener over this reference, which is to the user node. Yeah, here we can say that reference dot add value event listener object value event listener on data change on cancelled. Here we can say that if first let's get the user, so we can say well user equals to peer dot get value users class dot java. So we can say that we need to create a boolean type variable notify, and let's initialize this with a false, and then here we can say if notify is true. If this is true, then we will send the notification. We will create this function now, and we will pass some parameters with it, which is the receiver ID, the user dot get username, and the message. So and make sure to update the value of notify back to false. So let's just create this function send notification in our message chat activity. Here you can see it. And by the way, when we send the message, I forgot to update the value, which is whenever we send the message, which is btn send message btn dot set on click listener. So here we have to update the value of our boolean type variable, which is notify with true. And the same we can do here, which is attach image file button notify equals to true. And once you do this is for the image, so we have to write the same thing which we done for our send message to user. Copy this code from here, which is implement the push notification using FCM. Just copy it and come here when we say on activity result, which is for sending the image file. When we get this success, let's add on complete listener quickly on it. So if the task is successful, then we have to paste that code inside this if statement and make sure that to dismiss the progress dialog above it. I think we are not sending the receiver ID we can get from here by passing this variable receiver user ID visit. So make sure to pass this ID, which is user ID visit, and the message, which is in case of image will be this message sent you an image. Yeah, make sure to add this, and let me just confirm one thing, user.get username, which is message, yes, and the receiver ID. Okay, yeah, that's it. So now let's just implement our function which we created, which is send notification. So let's just create a reference to our database, which is to the tokens node. So Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference dot child, and the child is by the name tokens, and in Kotlin it is just reference. Tokens reference not order by key dot equals to receiver ID. Query dot add value event listener object current value event listener on data change on cancelled. Then by using for, you can say that data snapshot in p dot children token model class, this one, okay, which is inside the notifications package. Data snapshot dot get value token class dot java, and this token is the class, okay, the model class, which is this one. So make sure to import the right one, not the media session and other one. This one notification, and we have to pass the parameter. The first one is the Firebase user ID, which is the online user ID. So you can say Firebase user dot UID. The second parameter it's need is the icon, which you remember hopefully, second parameter, and we, as I told you, we will pass the default icon. So in our case, if you whatever the icon you want, so let's just pass the default icon for it, which is r.mipmap.ic launcher or IC launcher round. I will go with the IC launcher. If you have any, I mean, an icon in the proper format, then you can just access that icon here, and that icon will be basically available, or you can say visible, on your notifications whenever inside your project. That is, let's say if John send message to Muhammad Ali, then Muhammad Ali will receive a notification which will contain this app icon. Hopefully you have seen the notification in application, I mean in other, I mean in Android applications like Instagram, Facebook, etc., for the push notifications. And the third one is basically the body. So in the body we are going to display the message, so we will pass the, let me just give it, I mean let's just give it some proper format so that we can, the third one is basically we can pass the dollar username, and in the body we will display the username, plus we will display one more thing, which is basically the dollar the message. So you can pass the message variable here, and it will, let me just compute this, I will tell you then. And for the title, as you know, it is messages, so for the title we will just say new message. And the last thing is the user ID, so we can pass the user ID visit. So the first parameter is basically the online user ID, this one is the receiver user ID, and the second parameter is the app icon. The third parameter is the body, in which we will display the username and message in a notification, post notification. And for the title we will just say new message. Now this is for the text message. In case of the image file, when we send, here we are passing this thing, which is our, yeah, I mean it will receive this. Let me just show to you guys. Inside our own activity result, for the message we are sending this message which is sent you an image. So yeah, this function will receive this parameter which is message. So anyways, yeah, we are good to go. I thought we have some problem, but there is no problem, everything is okay. So after this we can send, which is our sender class inside the notifications, and here we need to pass the data object which contains our notification whole data. Okay, so we pass that data object to it, and the second thing we need is to pass token. So you can say token dot get token dot to string. Then we use to create API service. So at the top here we can say variable API service, API service. Let's just quickly create this API service, our fragments. So right click on fragments, new Java class, make sure to change it to interface API service, click OK. It has been created here successfully. Now here you can add headers, then put two curly braces, and in here we have to add two things. One is the content dash type colon application slash JSON. The second one is the authorization key. Make sure to add a comma here, and the authorization key we can add UTHORIZATION authorization colon key. Make sure to use the same spellings. K is in small English alphabets, and then authorization key equals to, here we have to pass our server key for the cloud messaging. So for that all you're gonna need is just go to your Firebase project and then click on this gear icon, project settings, click on this cloud messaging. From here you will see the server key, just copy it, come back here and paste that here. Now the next thing that we need to do is, after this we can say post FCM slash send call my response send notification. For that we need to import our sender. So you can say send notification the rate body sender body, and make sure to put a semicolon here at the end. Now come back here, and here we can just import this now with our API service, or you can just write API service and it will appear here. Let's initialize this with a null, and then in our own create to this we can say API service equals to client, which is this one from the notifications package dot client, and again it is from the notifications package. We have a class on our inside our client class, I mean inside this client we have this client object. Okay, so client class dot client object dot get client function, and inside this get client we can say that https colon slash slash FCM dot Google APIs dot com slash, and then dot create API service class.java, and then let's just come back to our function, which is send notification, and here we can say API service dot send notification sender dot enqueue object colon callback, and this callback is from the retrofit 2 library, so make sure to add the correct one, this one, retrofit 2. Okay, my response, make sure to add two curly braces, and then in here we have two built-in functions here. One is the on response, remove the comment, and the other one we have is basically the on failure. So inside the on response, which has two objects called response, here we can say that if response dot code, if this is 200, if response dot body dot success not equals to 1 specifically, then we will display a toast message, toast dot make text this as message chat activity, and we can just tell that failed, nothing happened, just a toast message, whatever you want to display here. And then after toast dot length long dot show. So yeah, this is all about the real-time push notification. Before testing the application, one important thing is here inside our, when we say that send message to user and the message is sent, then we add a click listener on it, which is the on complete listener, and here we are sending the notification inside it. So we do not need to wait for the completion of the task, because this is a notification which is linked to our message and not to our chat list. So just select this code, okay, which is for the push notification, Control X, and we have to move it outside our this add-on complete listener. Now here you can see this is our function send message. Whenever the message is sent, then here you can see it is ending, we have to paste it here. That's it. And make sure to change this name to, let's give it different name as user reference, and also replace it with this one. So it is now changed. One more thing is here on our my Firebase messaging, here inside when we say that if the Firebase user is not equals to null and centered is equals to Firebase user.uid, if the current online user is not equals to user, not null. And also come here to the Android manifest.xml file, make sure that both these are true, which is the service and the this one exported and enabled for both of these. And then on our chats fragment, let's just update our token. So inside the onCreate view, whenever the view for the chats fragment created, we can call here a function which will be by the name update token, and we will pass the Firebase instance id dot get instance dot token. Sorry. And now let's just create this function quickly. Create function update token. Here you can see it. Token 1 equals, we have to write token, which is our not inside the notification. We have token class, so we have to pass it, and we can pass the token to it. Then we can say reference dot child Firebase user dot uid dot set value to token 1. So yeah, that's it. So let's just run the application quickly, since we have to test it on the two mobile phones. So one is my phone, and let's just open the Android emulator alongside with it. I'm going to run it. So the app is running now on both the devices. Now on this device I am logged in by my own account, which is ALIZDP438, and from this as Gia Johnson. So let's just send message to Muhammad Ali. Let's say hello, how are you? And here you can see token has been created, and if you see here at the top, then a push notification has been received which says new message, the title, the app name, first of all the icon of the app, which is this one, and then the Gia Johnson hello, how are you. Here you can see it. Now let's just send another just to test it. I'm going to remove this one, just like this. Okay, let's just leave it. It is not, I'm doing it by mouse. Okay, it is removed now. Let's just again test it. So I'm going to say are you fine, Muhammad Al, and then let's send. And here you can see two messages, and if I show you, the notification has been received. Gia Johnson says that are you fine, Muhammad Ali. So this is really incredible. It is working really nice. Now the next thing is, now this is when the app is open. Now what if the app is minimized just like this? Okay, if the app is minimized, or let's say if the app is closed, then will it work? Will the push notification work? Of course it will work. It will work in the background as well as in the foreground. So now let me just remove this old old notification from here, and now let's just send another message which will be, let's say, are you going to school tomorrow? Let's send, and here we go. And it will also here you can see it, new message, Gia Johnson, are you going to school tomorrow? and whatever your phone default ringtone is, or I mean if your phone is on vibration, then it will also play that ringtone, the default ringtone which you have on your phone, real Android phone. So it will play that ringtone whenever your phone receive this notification, or if it is on vibration, then obviously it will vibrate. So hopefully you understand this. This is really incredible. So yeah, that's it. I mean, that is really nice. These are the token, okay, which will generate for each specific user uniquely. Okay, NK, which is here, I mean Gia Johnson, and the other one is Muhammad Ali, which is Alicia 438. So I mean that is really incredible. That is really nice. It is working really nice. Let's just send one more in order to confirm it. How is school going? If I show you how is school going, it is here. So yeah, that's it for this video, and in the next video tutorial what we will be doing is we will complete the online and offline status of a user. We will implement that feature, and we will complete that. And also we have to add the delete message feature and to view the full image from the chat. So yeah, that's it for this video, and see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.